Hi everybody! Welcome to my very first YouTube video. I'm happy that you're here with me. I am Deb from Ginger Pumpkinhead. I am a part-time reseller under the same store name, Ginger Pumpkinhead. And right now I feel like a full-time gardener. I was going to say I'm a part-time gardener, but spring has sprung here in the Willamette Valley and I've been very busy outside trying to keep up with the weeds. I have a lot of plants to plant that I got at fall and winter sales last year. So hopefully we can do some of that together as my channel grows. I am working towards taking you thrifting with me. I have some footage that I've shot and it's a little too fast. I think you might get nauseous if you see it. So maybe I'll insert a couple clips here and there. But I think for now, let's just stick to a thrift haul. I was thrifting yesterday and I tend to thrift at two main stores here in the Willamette Valley. And that is St. Vincent de Paul's, also lovingly known as St. Vinny's, and Goodwill. Goodwill offers a higher discount on color tag days, up to 75% off, which is great. St. Vincent's Max is 50% off, but St. Vinny's, they tend to have better quality items in my opinion. So I lean more that way. But yesterday, I was shocked at what the prices looked like. I saw these 4 Culver glasses. They're cool, they're vintage, I get it. $149.99 for 4? No, I don't think so. So I was really disappointed. I actually left with nothing. And then I went to a Goodwill store and I picked up one item, which is for my bonus mom. She needed a new Carhartt jacket for the yard. And I found one that's destroyed, you know, not destroyed, but it has paint stains. She doesn't care. She just wants the hood. She wants it to be the right size. So that was it. I didn't find anything else and I was just really disappointed. However, last week I went thrifting and I'm going to share those items with you because I did find some good deals, even though I might have paid a little bit higher than I normally would. It is what it is, people. What are you going to do? Okay, first item. Super excited about this. These, I got a set of 8 of these Minton dinner plates. And they have this beautiful laurel pattern. They're a light mint green. They're gorgeous. I really want to keep them, but I'm not going to because that's not the business plan. Here's the back. I think I have that the right way, but I don't have my glasses on, people. So a little history about this particular pattern. When Frank Sinatra married his final wife, I think it was his 4th, don't quote me on that, but 4th and final wife, Barbara, they were married at an ambassador's home in Palm Springs. And this was the pattern, the China pattern that they served food on at their reception. So there you go, a little information you didn't know you needed to know. Anyway, I bought these for $1.99 each, and they should bring around $150 for all 8. So that's an epic flip, hopefully, sometime in the future. Okay, this is a little silly item, but I couldn't leave it behind. It was $1.99. What caught my eye, of course, was the Tiffany blue. And it says, life is better with a dog, Sniffany and Company. I just thought it was clever. And I'm sure some dog lover is gonna want this cute little Tiffany blue tumbler. For $1.99, can't go wrong, I don't think. Oops, excuse me. This next item is, I wrote down the name because I think it's Hans Jensen from Denmark. And this is a silver plate letter holder or napkin holder. And it is signed. It's very hard to read, but his initials are on there. So this, I pay $2.99 for it. And I also get a senior discount of 10% if there's an item that's not on sale. So what I pay, $2.60 for it. And I think I should get about between $25 and $28 for this. These are kind of trending now. These napkin holders, people are using them for all kinds of different things, to put sponges at the sink or soaps or what have yous, or use it for its original intention, napkin or letter holder. So that was a yes. I'm not going to polish that because there are a lot of people who like the tarnished look. So I leave that to my buyer's decision. If they want to polish it, it's very easy to do. Otherwise, I just leave it as is, unless it's really goopy. I don't pick up a lot of miniatures, but these, I couldn't leave them behind. Look how sweet. These little bunny rabbits are by Oda Gary. See that? They're in excellent condition, no chips. The glaze and the paint is just beautiful. I love the muted sort of color to it. So I picked them up. Easter's coming, and also, you know, people love to collect the miniatures and put them in like little woodland scenes and that sort of thing. So for 89 cents for both of them, it was a yes all day long. All right, we'll stick with breakables for the moment. These are heavy, lovely crystal martini glasses. The pattern is Ingrid by Gottinger. They were $1.99 each, and I should get about $29 to $30 for the pair. So easy, easy, yes. Coffee mugs. Everyone likes to sell pairs of coffee mugs, and I am one of those people too, but I will occasionally just sell one depending on what it is. I was super excited to find 2 of these. I found one and I put it back, and then I thought to myself, go back and dig around, there might be 2, and there was. This one was hidden in the back. These are hand painted. The brand is Biscuit, and they are sold by Anthropology. I paid $3 each, which is a little more than I normally would pay, but this pair should go for about $40, so worth the $6 investment, in my opinion. Super cutesy. All right. I'd never found one of these jade, rose quartz, agate stone bonsais before, but I finally found one. This I paid up for. I think I paid $11 for it, which again is more than it should be listed or priced at, in my opinion. But these run the gamut on pricing, but they can go between $50 and $160 depending on what someone likes. This is 10 inches, so it's a good size, and there's absolutely no damage. All the petals are there, and it's lovely. It's heavy, so I was excited to find this for my very first time. This I knew straight away, you're coming home with me. This is a wine carafe by Dansk, and Dansk is still hot, people. People collect the Danish style. They collect mid-century modern still, and this was an easy yes at $3.99, and it should bring up just under $30, I suspect. So I was happy about that Dansk item, and super happy that I found the topper, because that's not always easy to do. Okay, a couple more things. Pottery Barn. I don't always pick up Pottery Barn, and I'll tell you why I won't pick up Pottery Barn at certain times. When there's a ton of something in the thrift store, to me, that is an indication that it's not moving, and they're making their donations typically at the end of their fiscal year. Excuse me. But I picked these up for a couple reasons. One is it had flowers, Lily of the Valley. How can I refuse Lily of the Valley? And it's a collaboration with Monique Liller. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she is a fashion designer, well-known, high-end stuff. They were $4.99 each. These are king. I got 8 of them, and I'm selling them in a set of 2, and they sell for about $47 plus shipping. So $4.99 plus my 10% senior discount, that makes it $4.50, so $9 a set. That was a yes. This is a brand I was not familiar with. This is Maison de But. I'm just doing a French thing today. And they make bags, purses in France. And it's interesting because there wasn't a tag on the inside, but there was this little bee tag. So I Google imaged that, and that got me down the rabbit hole of figuring out what this was or who makes this. It's a little backpack. It's leather. I love the hardware. It's got that gunmetal hardware. And there's a following for this brand. So who knew? I learned something new, which I'll tell you is one of my favorite things about reselling is I love the research. I love finding something and not knowing what it does or where it's from or who made it. And I think it's a really interesting process to educate yourself on your items. So again, it has a tag in there, but it's not branded. So this is just how they do their branding, which is a simple B on the back. This should go for between $70 and $80. And I paid, I think, $8.50 for it. And I picked up one other bag, Vera Bradley, or Vera, depending how you say it, where you're from. I don't pick up a lot of this brand. I don't know why. But this one, I believe this is the Caroline, and the color's Indigo Pop. And I love the colors and the condition. This is new. I would call this new without tags, but I will list it as pre-owned because obviously I didn't buy it brand new. I bought it from someone else who had already bought it. So that's called pre-owned, but it's just in perfect shape. So this was $7.99, and I think I'll get about $25 to $28 for it. So again, I'm paying more than I used to pay for these items. But if I'm selective with what I'm purchasing, I'm still okay to make sure I'm managing my business properly. All right, that's it for those. Oh, I've got one more. I won't call this a mistake. I'll call this a learning moment. How about that? I found Ralph Lauren vintage sheets. Who doesn't love those? Ralph Lauren vintage sheets are in demand, and they have been for quite some time. But Ralph Lauren as a brand is really having its moment, and I think it really kicked off this Christmas. A lot of people were doing these Ralph Lauren Christmas looks. I love his style, so I'm here for it. But the sheets I'll always pick up. The challenge with these are twin. There's a flat, the case, and a fitted. The challenge with it, excuse me, having some issues. The challenge with this is that I missed that there's some damage on the fitted sheet. So let me see if I can show that to you real quick. So it's on the area that tucks over there it is. So the mattress goes here and this tightens there, and it's a really clean cut. It's a clean hole. I am not a seamstress, so if I even attempted to fix this, I think it would look horrible. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to list it. There's value in the flat sheet and the pillowcase. There are comps that support that could sell for $30, but I don't want this to end up in the landfill. I don't want to just throw it out, and someone might not even mind this because it is hidden, or they can just quickly sew it if they have the talent to do so. So I'm just going to add this at no additional cost. And I'll disclose all of this, of course, in the listing to say, listen, there's damage to the fitted sheet. These are great. And I'm including it without increasing your cost. And I think that's the best way to do it because I think there's plenty of people who can easily fix something like this. I just don't seem to have that talent. All right, so thank you for getting me through my very first video. I'm going to end the thrifting portion right now and come back to you with a seed storing tip that I haven't seen anywhere else. I'll see you in a few minutes. Before we get outside, I wanted to share a seed storage and seed saving tip with you. So many people are familiar with this system, which is using a photo box to store your seeds. And it's very simple. I got mine at Michael's probably 15 years ago, and I've used this system ever since. Normally photos would go in here, but you just use your seed packets. I use a label maker. These are my tomatoes. My tip though, that's not the tip. My tip is to use Silica packs. You get these on Amazon. I'm not an Amazon affiliate. I'm just sharing my wealth of knowledge. These are inexpensive, and you take one of these and you place it in with your seeds, and it helps keep moisture at bay. Moisture is the enemy to your seeds until you're ready to germinate, of course, because then they're best friends. So that's that tip for storage. And then for seed saving, if you save seeds, which I'm starting to do more and more because I enjoy it and it saves a lot of money, and nurseries are not cheap these days. I also got these on Amazon, still not an Amazon affiliate. And these are little seed packs. And what I like about these, well, there's a couple things I like. One is you can easily label all the information, when you harvested it, what it is, what color, whatever you want to do. But it has a little window on the back that shows the seeds. I'm a seed nerd. I like to look at my seeds even with a loop or a magnifying glass because I think they're all very interesting. How a little tiny seed of lettuce, which is really small, turns into this enormous head of romaine. Pretty cool. Anyway, I love the window in the back, and then that this is resealable. So once you break this open, there's one of those, I don't know what the technical term is, Ziploc band thing that snaps together. And again, you can put these in your storage system with a silica packet to keep that moisture out. Thanks for being here with me. Let's get outside and get busy.